Welcome back, everyone. And today we can talk about the articles that appear on Redfin website, which is a very good source of ongoing housing market updates. And today we can talk about the renters nation. More people are renting than ever before. So welcome back. I'm Seewing Yee. My co-host is Julie. How are you, Julie?
Good morning. I'm fine, Seewing. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure as always. So the article headline came out of it, published a few days ago, May 31st, last week actually. And the headline is Renters Are Staying Put Longer, and 1 in 6 now living in the same home for 10 years or more. Julie, this message is basically for any rookie real estate investors that's trying to get into the real estate investing game. This video also inspire people to become a primary homeowner as well.
Right.
Anybody who want to learn, get better about financials. So this presentation is for you guys. All right.
Mm.
Without further ado, I highlighted the yellow, and the first paragraph says, U.S. renters are less likely to move than they were a decade ago.
Mm.
As soaring housing costs have priced many out of home ownership. The rise of remote work is another factor, leading more people to choose the renting lifestyle for flexibility and convenience. Okay.
Mm.
All right. Here we go. Most US renters move within 5 years, but they are more likely to live in one home for the long haul than they were more than a decade ago. The 10-year plus category, 1 in 6, which is 16.6% of renters, stay in their home for 10 years or more. And within the 5 to 9 years of category, 1/6 of renters, like 16.4%, live in their home for 5 to 9 years,
Wow.
which is more than 10 years ago. Renters that stay at a home 1 to 4 years timeline, 41.8% of renters stay at the rental home 1 to 4 years.
Mm.
And of course, the renters that stay in a home a year or less is 25%. One in 4 renters stay at home less than 4 months. So how that can help us as landlords, potential landlord, Julie, you and I, we are income property owners. We invest for cash flow and put a tenant in place, or our property manager put a tenant in place. And so we could, I hate to say this, so our tenants going to pay our mortgage for us,
Right.
and
Right.
they can pay our taxes, insurance, and property management fee, and maintenance and upkeep and vacancies. At the end of the day, we
Right.
get monthly positive cash flow. So if you, since we are already a landlord, you and I, we
Yes.
own many rental properties across the United States, and you own 6 rental properties in the Midwest market, Buffalo, Niagara Falls.
Hmm.
Looking at these statistics, don't you feel the benefit of continuing to buy income property, knowing
Yes. Most definitely. That's an investor's dream. The best thing you could have is a tenant that stays for a long time and continues to pay the rent consistently and takes care of your property. That's always a bonus too. But yeah, that's great for those of us that already have property because, yeah, you want people to stay.
yeah, and that's the success rental landlord blueprint. If you
Hmm.
buy property for cash flow with 25% down payment, knowing the statistics of your local market, if in fact true, if this study, if this data is true, imagine the next we could buy long-term rental. By the way, on our next video we're going to do, we could talk about the benefit, the pros and cons of buying long-term rental versus mid-term rental versus short-term rental. I
Hmm.
truly believe, Julie, that buying long-term rental will make more money
Hmm.
long-term than entering into a mid-term rental space or short-term rental with Airbnb.
I believe that. I believe what you're saying is true. Yeah.
And maybe next week, Julie, when we do the video again, in fact, remind me.
Okay, definitely.
The long-term rental, buy and hold long-term, LTR, long-term rental, MTR, medium-term rental, and STR, short-term rental. We may get some conflict with other people out there, other experts, but I don't care because I feel because of my 20 years of investment experience with long-term rental, annual lease, and beyond, if you calculate the internal rate of return, you calculate longevity, 5 to 10 years or more, the long-term rental people, landlords, make more money long-term, not short-term, 5 to 10 years than a mid.
Right. No, I agree with that. I think you're 100% right.
Some people may disagree with us, but I'm going to stand my ground because quickly, look at this data. Look at this. This is a historic renters nation. Only if you can survive the first year of long-term rental, annual lease, and only 1 out of 4 renter when the lease expire, they're gonna leave. That's fine. You can spend 30 days, whatever, to find another long-term tenant. But look at how many. If a renter stays beyond 1 year, 1 to 4 years, you have a 41.8% chance on the average for somebody going to stay longer to 1 to 4 years. Your same tenant, and if you're very lucky, your tenant for whatever reason they love renting your house 5 to 9 years. You have a 60% chance the same tenant can stay at your house 5 to 9 years.
I love it. Yeah.
I have experience, not personally, but some of our students, some of our investors, they have their tenants renting their house for more than 10 years.
Oh, wow. Nice.
16%. So when you have tenants, longevity, especially when you buy a new construction house, right? Expenditure is so minimal. And you are not having vacancy losses or vacancy, which can eat up your cash flow. You're not going to have the turnover, the cost of turnover. You have to, when a tenant leaves too early, whatever, you have to fix up the house. You have to paint. You have to replace the carpet, the walls. It'll cost you maybe $1,000 to $2,000 to fix up the house for the next tenant. And then what about vacancy? What about you take 2 or 3 months next tenant in? So you have a vacancy of 2 or 3 months when you're not collecting rent.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I think from a mental aspect, maybe a tenant or a mindset, a tenant that's going to stay in a place for a long time, they're going to take care of the property more like it's their own. So if you got somebody, they know they're going to be there 5 or 10 years, or they're not in transit, moving from state to state or whatever, they're going to take care of the property like it belongs to them. So even if they do move at the end of 5 or 6 or 7 years, you may not have that much maintenance to take care of because people care about where they live if they're going to be there for a long time.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. So right now, Julie, as we continue with this video, right now is a historic renters nation. There's more people are renting right now than ever before in history, right? So that bodes well for LTR, long-term rental land like you and I. Anyway, so let's move forward because of the skyrocketing of home prices, especially in the past few years, and the elevated mortgage rates that has priced out so many people on the sidelines. They cannot afford to buy a house, so they have to rent. So So okay, let's go on with this the remaining part of this article. Staying in the same home means they are likely to face smaller rent increases, and they are saving money on moving costs and application fees. Landlords typically prefer long-term tenants because they don't have to spend money on cleaning and marketing vacant units. Exactly what we just said, right?
Absolutely.
Renters are priced out of home ownership. The median U.S. home sales price has more than doubled since 2012. In a mere 12 years, the home price is double on the average. So if you do the rule of 72, if you do the rule of compound interest appreciation rate, I've done the math for you. If 10 years your home is double in value, that means your annual appreciation rate is 7%. The rule of 72. 7% annual appreciation rate in the past 10 years, and in some markets are more than other markets. But
absolutely.
But it does a nice. Now, just going to show you, it's nice to be a homeowner, and it's nice to be a a landlord, because if you hold to your house long term, you would make money.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. I agree with you 100% on that. We're counting on that. Yeah, it's definitely better to be on the landlord side than the renter side. But some people home ownership is not that important. They just want a nice home. We are able to take advantage, or not take advantage, but we benefit from people like that really are not interested in owning, but they just really want a nice place.
Yeah. And this article, Julie, further your point, but the next paragraph will validate what we just said, as a matter of fact. A little bit ahead of my
Like minds.
Exactly. Because, anyway, because you're good at what you do. Okay. So renters are priced out of ownership, that's for sure. And rental prices have risen too. That means as landlord, Julie, our cash flow continue to increase.
Absolutely.
Our passive income continue to increase because of why? Because of inflation.
Yep, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
People don't know it, Julie. Inflation will cause our property to increase in value.
That's true. That's true. Very good. Very good point.
Real estate is a hedge against inflation.
Yes, yes, it is. And it always has been.
Yeah, always has been, always will. For those rookie investors out there, continue to stay in the sidelines, but you're missing out. That's all I have to say. And we talked about it many times, Julie. But you need to buy real estate and wait instead of wait to buy real estate.
There you go. Absolutely.
This is a time-tested formula, philosophy that goes back historically for hundreds and hundreds of years. If people do not study history, they will doom to fail.
It's interesting too. Redfin, I don't know. I guess they know when we buy properties, right? So they periodically will update me on how my properties are doing or what the current market value is on the property. And one of the most inexpensive properties we bought, it was about $48,000. It was a two bedroom, one bath. No, two bedroom, two bath. And it's risen $20,000 in a year and a half. They actually just sent me a valuation on it a couple of days ago, and it's gone up $20,000.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you have a income producing asset will increase in value over time. Wow, being a landlord is just so much benefits of being a real estate landlord and what have you.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's continue with this article. And let me see what else. And one thing that hasn't risen enough is supply of homes. That's what's happening. There are far fewer homes for sale in the U.S. than there are more than a decade ago. Yes, we have lack of inventory, and we still have pent up demand, even though the mortgage rate is elevated right now. According to Mortgage News Daily, the mortgage rate has decreased recently. As we speak right now, it's the 6th of June, and the mortgage rate is around 7.03. Goes below 7%, then we will trigger more demand and more transactions that will increase home prices. Anyway, so let me see what else I can identify on this article before we conclude momentarily. So the 50 most popular U.S. metros where renters more often are in Austin, Texas, where 30% of renters only stay for 12 months because most likely those renters have a big six-figure income. They are probably high-tech workers. They are on the verge of buying a property somewhere in Austin. So these people have money to buy in Austin, Texas, because they're Silicon Valley 2.0, even though Austin market has gone through a little bit of a correction if you have not. Next highest people moving quickly after renting is among the 50 most popular metros are Denver, Nashville, whatever. Renters stay put the longest are in New York. We talk about New York City, not Brooklyn, neither. I don't know why, but the next is Riverside, then LA. Yeah, because we tell you why. The reason why renters in this market stay longer, because it is too expensive to buy a home in your neck of the woods, Southern California, signing a new lease. I bet you to rent a house in Southern California, your area, Pasadena or close by, I bet you the rent is probably $4,000. Even
easy. And then they want you to it costs about $10,000 just to rent. Because if you're paying $4,000 a month, They want you to put on another $5,000, $4,000 or $5,000 for the, what do they call it? The
Deposit?
movement fee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they want to make sure that they get their money. Yeah. So that's a lot. And most people don't have that kind of money just lying around.
But those renters in a high cost market, like in California, I lived in San Francisco Bay Area for many years. You live in LA for many years.
Mm.
But a lot of those renters, they can't afford to buy a house, but they make six-figure income. They can afford to pay $4,000 to $5,000 a monthly rent. Why? Because there's jobs, right?
That's it. That's it.
They're
Mhm.
looking, there are jobs. They're just looking in a good school district. So even if those renters cannot afford to buy a house, they still want to rent in a place where they have a good job and they have a
Right.
good school district for their children. So they can afford to buy a home. They don't mind renting, right? And so let me see what else. Oh, by the way, Buffalo, Niagara Falls, in which you have 6 rental properties, in which my network is promoting among many turnkey markets. Buffalo, New York is a prime example. I highlighted this because there is some good metrics. Income property in Buffalo, you already know that, but
Right.
people stay longer than 12 months in Buffalo, 20%. Shares of renters who stay 12 months or less,
Okay.
28%. Share of renters who stay for 10 plus years, 1 in 5 renters can stay today
Wow.
at least 10 years in your market. And then share of renters who stay at 10 years, 10 years ago, or less than the percentage they are staying today. So at the end of the day, Julie, your 6 property rental,
Mhm.
let me make my prediction as we conclude this article.
Mhm.
Your market, your 6 rental property you purchased in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, giving the robust rental market, I bet you more than half of your rentals, people can stay 2 or 3, 4 years.
That's interesting. The 2 properties that we bought initially, so they're the ones we've had the longest, already had tenants in them, and they have stayed consistently, and they are the most consistent on paying the rent too. So yeah, so like you said, that's golden for us to have a tenant that's willing to stay, take care of the property, and pay on time over a long period of time.
Absolutely. So there you go. There you go. So buying long distance remotely and far away, turnkey, let the property management manage your properties. Doesn't matter if you're 5,000 miles away or 1 million miles away, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
My takeaway from this video, per the reference article, as we discussed, is this is the historic renters nation. It's more renters than ever before for the reason we just stated. So if you are rookie investors or experienced investors who want to buy more rental property, if you buy in the right market, you can buy in the cash flow market, in a good location, and you let other people manage your property for you. Those are trusted team on the ground. Whether you only 5 rentals or 10 or 20 rentals,
Right.
and the most effort you spend on a monthly basis is how many hours, Julie?
About less than 2. Let's say about an hour and a half at max.
That's too good to be true, Julie.
It really is.
Are you telling me whether you personally own 6 rental and you spend a mere 2 hours per month in managing your real estate portfolio? Tell me why.
That's about it. And I mean, once the checks are automatically deposited, so we don't have to worry about that. And then I have a program which you taught me, the property tracker. I input the system in there, and then that way, when tax time rolls around, I have all my information, my costs, my expenses, my mortgage payments, all in one place. And so, like I said, that took me, I don't know, less than an hour to do that. And every once in a while, a statement will come to the house saying this needs to happen or that needs to happen. All I do is forward it to the property manager and they handle it. So, like I said, I made it about an hour and a half because I'd say within the other 29 days of the month, I might get 1 or 2 pieces of paper that need to be forwarded to the property manager. But like I tell people all the time, I forget that I have property until the checks come in.
It's too good to be true, but it is true because there's long distance remote investing turnkey approach that I've been using for more than 20 years for many of our investors. Not only in Buffalo, Falls, we have the same investment model in Florida, in Texas, in Alabama, in Tennessee, same thing.
Having a trusted team is so important. We don't worry about anything. I don't get any phone calls. The tenants are not calling me. I don't have to rent it out. I don't have to fix the plumbing. I don't have to do anything. All my property manager handles all those issues. And like I said, once you get it and do all the hard work up front, it is seamless from that point on. It really is.
A lot of real estate gurus out there, they're claiming, oh, buying investment properties or not passive. You have to do a lot of work to fix a property. You have to change the doorknob. You have to self-manage all this. We're still seeing this mainstream media where they say, oh, it's too much work to buy rental properties. Not in a way we do it. And so there's a lot of misconception out there. People don't know people, oh, it's too hard to be a landlord. I'm going to buy an investment 100% passive. I'm going to buy crypto. I'm going to buy stocks and bonds. I'm going to get into syndication where, I let the mutual fund managers manage all my money. 100% passive, guess what? You're not going to earn the return that you want compared to income property.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% right. I think that people should seriously consider it. Considering you got another 35, 40 years out of your retirement to live, look at optionals, look at different options on how you can manage your best years. I'll even say that, your best years.
Very well said, Julie. So with that in mind, as we could put this video, so if you want more information about the stuff that we do, you guys out there, you put your email on the website under the newsletter box, so you can become a free member of our real estate network investment organization. And so you can receive free daily newsletter videos about all aspects of real estate investing. Does not matter where you live. So also, if you like, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you receive a lot of value from this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time, or see you next week. Same time, same channel. And we do another several modules of this investing. All right, Julie?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.